Friday afternoon, everyone. I'm WSAZ's Kimberly Keggy here in our WSAZ Plus studio. We're coming to you now with an update to a breaking news situation that we first brought to you this morning. Let's go ahead and pull up some videos so we can talk about it. Today, Huntington police are investigating a shooting that killed 2 people and injured another. And just about 20 minutes ago or so, we are learning more details about the shooting in particular. We can tell you the Huntington Police Department releasing the 2 victims' names. Huntington Police say Adrian Phillips, who was 26, and Darius Johnson, who was 39. They're both from Huntington, died from their injuries in that shooting that was reported this morning just about 2:30 or so. And today we're learning that Johnson was a coach at St. Joseph Catholic High School in Huntington. The school sharing a statement on Facebook that said, "Our entire St. Joseph School family, our students and staff mourns the tragic loss of our beloved coach, mentor, parent, and friend, Darius Johnson, earlier today." And the school is asking for prayers for the family and staff during that tragic time. Let's go ahead and give you some of the details, though, about how this happened. So the call came in this morning about 2:30 or so. That's when dispatchers first learned about this. And then several people in the area reported gunshots. The shooting reported near 3.5 Alley. That's near 14th Street between 3rd Avenue and 4th Avenue. We can tell you, Huntington Police telling us a third victim ended up arriving at a nearby hospital. They were independently transported. Their condition is unknown at this time. And I want to go ahead and bring in Andrew Colgrove, who has been following this story for us this morning. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about what you saw when you were out there this afternoon?
So I just got back from the scene a few minutes ago. I can tell you that police have cleared the scene earlier this morning. All the crime tape is down, but I actually did just speak with the owner of Bar None, so this shooting happened right outside of that bar, and he actually approached me and said he would like to comment just to get some things on the record, because you know how social media is, people say this and that, so he wanted to just get his side out. He said, first of all, he wanted to say how much his heart is going out to the families of the victims today and just how awful this is, but he did want to share that he says there was no inciting incident that happened inside the bar late last night, early this morning, and he said they do have security video from the bar, which he has shared with police. Now, he says because this is an ongoing investigation, he doesn't want to talk about anything specific about what that video shares, but he did say, to his knowledge, the shooter in this case was not inside the bar at any point last night. He did say he does believe that at least some of the victims were, but he said it wasn't a case where there was any sort of incident inside the bar where people were starting to get angry at each other and that spilled outside. He wanted to point out that is not what happened here. He said everybody was having a good time. In fact, they had just made a last call a few minutes before this shooting happened. He says people had gone outside and were milling around outside, which is normal for this and other bars in downtown Huntington. People stand outside and talk to each other after they left the bar. But again, as far as what led up to this shooting, why this shooting happened, police have not shared any specifics or any details on that yet.
It's still pretty early on in their investigation. You know, Andrew, this happened about 2:30 this morning, so you have to think of resources were probably a little bit more limited at that time, and then they have to call in extra first responders, forensic investigators to, you know, kind of comb through what they're dealing with at this situation. Andrew, were you able to talk or hear anybody who was nearby at that time?
So I talked with a couple neighbors. One of them lives in an apartment right next to where this happened, right across from that bar we were just talking about. She said she was asleep about 2:30 this morning, woke up to the sound of several gunshots, said she heard screaming as well, looked out her window and saw just chaos in the street, saw a woman kneeling by a body, and she described it as somebody wailing in distress was the sound she heard. And she did tell me that there have been incidents outside this bar of people shouting and some frustration, but nothing where it's boiled over to this level.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's pretty early on in the morning for a lot of people. And so I'm sure hearing that kind of it would be very jarring for her.
Absolutely. I can also tell you I spoke with a Marshall student who was walking by this morning and stopped and talked with him. He was actually on his way to get a haircut, but he said he lives in a house close to where this happened.
Yeah.
He said he was still awake. He was playing pool with some friends in their house. He said there was 4 gunshots that he heard, and he said they came outside just to look. And he said it's not that rare for him and his friends to hang out at that bar themselves, to be standing outside at that hour, especially late in the week, like a Thursday night, like last night. And so
Sure.
one of the things he's wondering is, in this shooting, were all 3 of the victims here, were they targeted, or could it be that, you know, with people standing around, could some of these bullets have hit somebody they were not intended for? We haven't gotten an answer to that either yet. But obviously, for him, he's saying this could have easily been me standing there last night in the middle of all this chaos.
Yeah, very scary, I think, for anybody who, you know, frequents that area or goes downtown. You know, that's certainly something, you know, that could be concerning for a lot of people. So if you are just now joining us here on WSAZ Plus, we're getting some new details this afternoon about a shooting that happened in Huntington. We do know that 2 people died in that shooting. 1 was hurt. Huntington police identifying the victim just moments ago. And so that is certainly, this is video from the scene, but like we said, Huntington police identifying the 2 victims. Officers tell us it was Adrian Phillips, who was 26, and Darius Johnson, who was 39. Both are from Huntington. They died from their injuries in that shooting, and we are just learning new details about who they were and, you know, who they meant to the community. We had just heard from St. Joseph Catholic High School that Johnson was a coach at Huntington St. Joe, and the principal, Dr. Templeton, released a statement on Facebook, you know, just asking for prayers, and they said they are just heartbroken as they are mourning the tragic loss of their beloved coach, their mentor, their parent and friend, and so they are, as that school community starts to begin processing it, the grief, they say their chaplain, grief counselors, and mental health professionals will be on hand to help students as they kind of navigate that, and even school staff as well. So Andrew will be joining us in our 4, 5, and 6 newscast as we are getting some new details. You know, there's still some questions, but we have started to get some answers from investigators on that. So we will bring you an update here at 4 on WSAZ Plus because we are preempted because of the Olympics. So you will still have access to that to get some new details. But in our 5 and 6 o'clock hours as well, we will also have those details for you. So that's a big story that we're following today in an update that we've had. So we certainly appreciate you joining us here.